Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys offensive tackle roster review. Tyron Smith's fate will determine a lot at the position. The Dallas Cowboys enter the 2024 offseason with a glaring issue at offensive tackle. Tyron Smith's contract is expiring and there's no great option to replace him at left tackle. Dallas now has to weigh the balance of Smith's age and injury history with their other options, plus the fact that the veteran is still one of the league's top tackles when he plays. Smith is the team's eldest statesman, at least in Cowboys years. He was the first draft pick of the Jason Garrett era in 2011 and was an immediate starter. He's been to 8 Pro Bowls and was named a first or second team All-Pro 5 times, including last season for the first time since 2016. The bond between Smith and the Cowboys is strong, enough that the veteran graciously agreed to convert $9 million of last year's base salary into incentives to help Dallas cap space. Now that he's a free agent, will that same bond keep the two parties together or will other factors get in the way? Smith turns 34 in December, which is far from an expiration date for many offensive linemen, but what's concerning is how many games he misses. Smith was absent for 4 contests in 2023, 13 in 2022, 5 in 2021, and missed all but 2 games in 2020. Thankfully, whether by strategy or circumstance, he's never missed a postseason game. But the odds aren't great for consistent future reliability. Even amid frustration over the absences, Smith is one of the best left tackles in football when he's on the field. That was reaffirmed this past season with the All-Pro nod. It just adds to the uncertainty of how Dallas will proceed at one of their most important positions with one of their most beloved players. Another key part of the discussion is the Cowboys' other options. And folks, they ain't pretty. Cowboys tabbed a best fit for projected $20 million Pro Bowler. It could be a long shot, of course, but if the Cowboys really want to give their 2024 season a different approach, if they're serious about upping their game in terms of toughness and professionalism, then there's a free agent out there who could probably add just as much to bolster the team in those areas as he can add talent on the field. And considering the guy is one of the all-time great running backs, Titans star Derrick Henry, that means we're talking a significant level of talent, professionalism and toughness. On Thursday, veteran NFL analyst Marcus Mosher of the 33rd team identified the best fits for Henry in free agency, and though his style does not fit seamlessly in coach Mike McCarthy's Texas Coast offense, he is the kind of bruising yard chewer that the Cowboys badly need. Given the Cowboys' playoff results under McCarthy, the offense should bend to accommodate players like Henry. That would require, of course, that the Cowboys move off of running back Tony Pollard, the incumbent at running back. While there is a chance that Pollard could come back to Dallas, the team could use an upgrade after a disappointing 2023 in what was Pollard's first chance as the Cowboys' main back. Cowboys could play power football with Derrick Henry, as Mosher wrote of Henry on the site. Of all the teams mentioned on this list, the Dallas Cowboys might be the worst on the field fit. Mike McCarthy's offense is built out of the shotgun and predicated on throwing a ton of short passes on early downs. Ellipsis. But power football could be something the Cowboys need to get back to doing in this all-in season coming up. McCarthy is entering the final year of his deal, and it's clear the Cowboys are trying to load up for one more run. Sure, Henry is 30 years old. In running back years, that is considered ancient around the NFL. But Henry has evolved from his heyday 4 years ago in 2020, when he rushed for 2,027 yards. He still was number 2 in the NFL in rushing yardage, at 1,167, and maintained workhorse status with a league-high 280 carries. Additionally, though, he has expanded his game as a pass catcher, with 61 catches in the last 2 seasons after catching 94 total passes in his first 6 years in the NFL combined. Henry earned a Pro Bowl spot for the 4th time in the last 5 years this season. That gives the Cowboys the best of both worlds when it comes to Henry, a grinder who can get short gains when needed, who still can break a long run and who can operate as a receiver out of the backfield. Best shot at winning the Super Bowl. Moreover, Henry can be had at a decent price, around what the Cowboys paid Pollard this year. Spotrac projects his contract at 1 year and $10.3 million, while Pro Football Focus has Henry getting a deal worth $20 million over 2 years. Henry said earlier in the offseason, in an appearance on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, that his priority is winning, but he is not looking to play for free either. I want to be somewhere that, whatever happens, gives me the best shot at winning the Super Bowl, Henry said. The business side, there's a business side. It has to make sense. I'm not going to just accept anything, at the same time, because it is a long season and we put our bodies through a lot. But I definitely want to be on a roster that can go out there and put ourselves in position to win games and get in the playoffs and contend for a ring. Maligned ex-Raiders coach hired by Cowboys after 2-season hiatus. Prior to the 2023 season, the Las Vegas Raiders consistently had one of the worst defenses in the NFL for 2 decades. In that time, they cycled through many defensive coordinators. One of the most maligned was Paul Guenther, who was one of the big assistants John Gruden hired upon getting the head coach job in 2018. Guenther was fired after the 2020 season and hasn't coached in the NFL since 2021. After 2 seasons away, Guenther is coming back. According to a February 16 X post from ESPN's Todd Archer, the veteran coach is joining the Dallas Cowboys as a run game coordinator under new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. Zimmer and Guenther go way back. The former was the defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals while Guenther was on the staff. Zimmer even brought the coach to the Minnesota Vikings when he was the head coach. Guenther was a respected defensive coach before he went to the Raiders. The Raiders didn't finish better than 24th in points allowed during Guenther's 3 years with the team. However, Zimmer is one of the best defensive minds in the NFL and clearly trusts the coach. This could be the chance for him to turn things around and work his way back toward another defensive coordinator job. Max Crosby happy to have Patrick Graham back. After years of cycling through defensive coordinators who haven't been able to turn the defense around, the Raiders finally found a coach in Patrick Graham who was able to have success. Las Vegas finished 9th in points allowed per game, 19.5, which is the best the team has finished since 2002. For his work, Graham got a couple of head coaching interviews this offseason but wasn't able to land a job. He's now going to stick with the Raiders for another season, and star defensive end Max Crosby is very happy about that. It's huge, Crosby said of the Raiders retaining Graham in a recent interview with Heavy Sports. It's very important. I mean, Pat has been incredible. Pat's a great coach, and he knows his stuff. He's a leader. People love him. Me and him have a special relationship. I can't even explain. It's not even like a coach-player relationship, like me and him are friends, you know what I mean? We have real conversations, and it's helped me in my career, but it's helped him as well, I believe, and we have a special relationship. We give each other advice, and we both want greatness for each other. And so I push him that way. He wants that for me as well. So I got nothing but respect for the dude. He's a great coach. I could go on, but Pat's a special dude. Patrick Graham may not be a DC for much longer. This isn't the first hiring cycle in which Patrick Graham has received head coaching interviews and likely won't be the last. If he can get the Raiders to finish with a top 10 defense for a second straight year, it's hard to imagine another team doesn't poach him for the head job. The Raiders would be happy to keep him for as long as possible but can't stop him from taking a promotion. This is going to be a big season for Graham if he hopes to be a head coach.